All right, everyone. Thank you for hopping on week 6.
Yeah.
Or is this week 7?
Been a lot of weeks.
Yeah, it's been a lot of weeks. I'm even forgetting. But thank you for hopping on the call. Today, we're here with our father, Tom, to talk a little about nutrition. But before we do that, Thomas, you want to announce the winners? One was already announced.
Yeah, she already let the cat out of the bag. We have our last week's winners. We had Denise, who won the SiselSPORT, and Mary Fisher, who got a SiselRIPT for free. So, like I said, every single week you participate in this call, we're going to select a couple of people, or one person, 2 people, could be 3, who knows? We got Tom Jr., who's kind of Tom Sr. now, on the call. So maybe we can talk him in to give him maybe a couple more products away for the participants on this week's call.
Thomas, I didn't mean to spill the beans. I just wanted to thank you guys.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
All right. So we are going to be talking about, we're going to do this interview style with our father about nutrition. And I know we've always talked about how we are product users. And we started in this industry being product researchers, and we use the products and we see the benefits of the products. And there's nobody better to talk about the products that we've launched this past year than him himself, who has lost how many pounds in just 2024?
About 65 pounds.
Incredible. If you can see the screen, you can actually see the before and after right there.
Who's that old guy?
Hair's still gray. We're working on that one. That's a later product.
Actually, I'm working on that.
But yeah, so do we want to just kind of hop in and start some of the first questions, Thomas?
Yeah, let's do it. All right. Well, Dad, like I said, you've lost 65 pounds this past year. First question, what inspired you to start your weight loss journey?
Well, I typically would say your mother, but no, I have made dozens of products for weight loss, and all of them are phenomenal in their own right. And they really addressed one portion of weight loss. And the typical one was thermogenics, helping us to burn energy faster. But what inspired me was the fact that, I'm to lose 10, 15, 20 pounds, I can do that with a simple product. But I really wanted to look back at where I was at, years ago when my weight was ideal and I was younger and it was easier to maintain it. But I wanted to see everything that had changed in my life personally and what environmental factors in my diet had changed also, and make products that would encompass that, that would help me bring back homeostasis in my life to where my body would want to go back to a normal weight. And the research you boys were doing into gut health was half of the equation, because I realized there was a great need for that. And over the last 3 years, you guys have really championed putting together a dynamic total gut health program. So that was really what made me think that we need to take a few steps back to see what's changed to get back to where we were.
Oh, perfect. Well, thank you for the acclimates. We put a lot of effort into that product, and I'm sure there's a lot more that goes into that.
So next question.
Who's your favorite son?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Who is your favorite son?
Yeah.
Dakota.
He's in California, so that doesn't count. Who's your favorite one in Utah? So there is a ton of different factors that play a role in weight loss, whether it's nutrition, working out, products, mental, gut health, all these different factors. What would you say is the biggest difference, or what made the biggest difference as you started your journey?
Well, first you have to get your mind in the game. With anything that you're going to accomplish, you have to have a I will do mentality. And, you guys knew your grandfather, my father, very well. And if there was anybody that should have had that tattooed on his chest, it was him. He had a I will do mentality. So I'm going to encourage anybody out there, if you're looking to accomplish anything in life, first get your head in the game and say, I will accomplish that. Because then every decision you make along the way, you will have your eye on the end goal, and that is to be successful. In this case, obviously, we're talking weight loss.
Well, good. Yeah, thank you, Dan. Yeah. What was the other saying he always had? That I choose not to be a common man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's the most famous saying. Yeah. And that is the I.
Things different.
Yep. Yeah. Well, that leads us kind of our next question. What products do you take? When do you take them? And how do you take them? What's your secret sauce?
Well, in combination with some modifications I've made in my diet, my typical morning starts up with a delicious Sisel cafe. Then I'm getting
good choice.
Everything from Go to Coal and Bacopa and Shaga and healthy coffee in my system to get me rocking and rolling. But then your mother's kind enough that once a week she loads up these little pill boxes with Brain Vitality, Super Omega, Encompass, Calcium K2, and 2 or 3 other things. I've always told her that, I hope you don't slip some cyanide in there because I'm just a creature of habit. I take this every single morning. And so if I don't show up to work one day, you'll know that your mother put an extra pill in there that I shouldn't have taken. So I start with all of those nutritional products, and definitely I take 2 Trimogenic first thing in the morning because, we all, whenever we're playing sports or doing anything, we all like an edge. And the human studies with the capsicum that's found in Trimogenic, right there, we burn 8.9% more calories. So if I screw up along the way of the day, at least the next 4 hours, because it stays active for 4 hours, and somebody slides a donut my way and I accidentally take a bite, I know I'm going to burn it a lot quicker. But with my mind in the game, there's not many donuts that slide by me that stop. I let them keep sliding by.
Well, on that same note, you said take Trimogenic in the morning. Do you recommend taking it maybe once or twice throughout the rest of the day if it's only active for 4 or 5 hours?
Absolutely. I do it because I'm going to have breakfast. For years, breakfast was an option. Mm-hmm. And so I realized a few things. One thing about weight loss, if we're just concerned about weight loss, a lot of times we lose muscle mass. And so one thing I definitely do every morning, as you boys know, I eat 4 hard-boiled eggs. And number one, they have about 600 milligrams of leucine per egg. They're about 11 grams of protein per egg. And so I've definitely increased the amount of protein. I want to protect my muscle mass. And so, but I want the Trimogenic in there. So back to your question, absolutely, to take it twice a day is wonderful. But what I do a lot of times, rather than take it twice, a lot of people that are older, like Denise and I on the phone today, we remember the old days of Dr. Pepper, 10, 2, and 4. Naturally, our body around 10 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, 4 in the afternoon, we kind of hit a low and we want a little pick-me-up. And what I like to do is a lot of times take Sisel Thin in the afternoon, because then I'm flooding my body with ketones, which are a quick energy source for my brain. And they also speed up the mitochondria so that we burn more energy faster also, because ketones have the ability in the mitochondria to, a mitochondria has like a governor on it. It's the organ in the cell that burns the energy. And so it takes that governor off and it just lets it, the RPMs just rev up and it burns more calories. So, sometimes I'll take Trimogenic to keep metabolism increased, but a lot of times I'll take Sisel Thin in the afternoon to give me that clean energy. I'm not worrying about picking up stored calories and increase it that way.
One question also on this one. So in the past, actually a handful of times over the past couple weeks, I've heard, is there a better time to take the other supplements like Encompass, Omega, all those? Because the weight loss really tends to have a specific time. You take Glucominish with a meal, you take Trimogenic in the morning, Sisel Thin right before a meal, so you have those key enzymes 30 minutes before a meal. Exactly. So a lot of these are based around a certain time, but then when you have the overall encompassing products like Encompass 360, Spectramax, Eternity, all these other ones, that are in our helpline, less of our fitness line. Is there specific times, or do you see it more as?
Absolutely. So yeah, Trimogenic is definitely designed to give you 4 hours of an increase of your metabolism. So if you can coincide that when you eat meals, so I start in the morning when I'm going to have eggs and my coffee, but like when you guys were in my office and an hour or two ago, what was I doing? I was doing the glucominish. I was doing the gut health products because I was getting ready to have a protein and a low calorie lunch. And so I wanted that also because glucominish is going to help pick up that sugar, move it through my system so it's not stored as fat.
Mm-hmm.
And so typically when I get to work with the little fridge we have here, I like to take my Triangle of Life. Sometimes I'll take it at home, but a lot of times I'll take it here. But usually before I have lunch, that's when I'll take the gut health products and the glucominish. Absolutely.
What about like Encompass and those ones? Does it matter as much as long as you take it throughout the day?
Yep, they're pretty much vitamins and minerals are really cofactors for all your biological systems. And so you just need to have those in your system. And so that one doesn't really have a benefit at a specific time.
One other question. So there was a Hey Tom that came out on social media, and we noticed, so you usually take the Triangle, it seems like, when you're in the office.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a reason why you were holding Eternity in your mouth for longer?
Well, yeah, the biggest reason I hold Eternity in my mouth is because resveratrol, 97% of it, if we take it in a capsule or a tablet, it goes right to our digestive system, and then it has to break up in our stomach. Then it's absorbed. And the first thing it does, it goes through the liver. The liver is a big filter, and it will destroy 97% of it. When I hold it in my mouth, then it starts to absorb in my submucosa, in my mouth, in my throat, and it goes into my circulatory system, bypassing the liver on the first cycle. And so I get about 300% more bioavailability with the Eternity when I do that.
Yeah, I just noticed some people were wondering if that was specific why you were having them hold it.
Absolutely. And, I've talked about that a lot, but maybe not enough. But that's why it'd be a lot easier to put it in a capsule, but we put it in a liquid for that reason. In fact, going back one more step, all of the great work that was done, Harvard University, when they looked at, or they discovered resveratrol, it was resveratrol in wine, which was a liquid also. And that's why people were living longer and healthier in that French-German region on the Rhine River. It wasn't in capsules. It wasn't in tablets. It was in liquid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So can I ask also, a lot of people are seeing a ton of results with the gut health. When do you recommend that people take a lot of the enzymes and the pro and prebiotics and fiber? And what have you noticed with your appetite after you've taken them?
Well, one thing, if I go back a couple decades ago when I started to gain weight, I really took an inventory here of my life and what's changed in it internally and outside. And one thing we know, going clear back to the 1920s, when USDA started keeping study on nutritional factors in food, meaning vitamins and minerals and such, we've seen a great decline in the nutrients that are available to the fruits that we and vegetables that we eat every day. And so my nutritional value was going down. My lifestyle had changed. I mean, when I grew up with your grandfather, we had 2 big gardens. We raised our own chickens and beef and potatoes and had a root cellar, and we ate more nutritious. But, with the business and everything, pretty soon you're eating airline food and you're eating in restaurants. And, now we take it for granted to go grab a hamburger or something. But when I was a kid, if you ate out once a month, that was a big deal. So my nutrition had definitely gone down. Well, along with that, there's been a huge increase in the last 30 years on artificial sweeteners, and studies also coinciding with that show that they destroy about half of the microbiome in your gut. Well, that microbiome is crucial to the quality of our health. It determines the amount of inflammation that we have. It helps to detoxify our body. It destroys pathogens, our immune system, aging, nutrient uptake, everything comes to that point. That's why I wanted you boys 3 years ago to really dive into what would it take to make a healthy gut. digestive system product. Well, that includes prebiotics to feed that microflora. It means supplementing with a microflora, such as the 35 billion colonies of bacteria that every dose delivers to our system of the beneficial probiotics that we need for digestion. And then also, we need enzymes. And enzymes are the byproducts that microflora produce, but also we want to add more enzymes, and that helps break up the foods, proteins into peptides, and carbohydrates into smaller chain sugars that can be burned and utilized, and break down fats and everything so that they can either be eliminated or absorbed. And so we have to have all that. But with modern, a lot of the modern foods that are out there, I mean, you guys forget that I was born way before the microwave was invented.
Your birthday yesterday.
It was. And we didn't have a lot of the things that you guys are exposed to in a good way. We had much more nutrition available to us in the right sources. We had a healthier digestive system. So what we've done with the Gut Essentials line and what you guys have put together, and we've worked on in R&D, is to complete that to not only restore it, but to help with proper digestion on a 24-hour basis. And so to take those products once a day, number one, it gives you a lot of fiber that cleans out your system, both soluble and insoluble. There's a ratio there that you need to have of that because fiber intake's gone way down, mineral has gone way down, probiotics or microflora being destroyed by our modern day diets. And so we can restore that. So that was crucial to bringing out the glucominish and the trimogenic, was to get homeostasis in my own body so that when I'm taking these, these very powerful products, that I'm absorbing them to get better results.
Well, perfect. Thank you. Yeah.
Now, the last time I take products, you asked me, when do I take the products? Every night before I go to bed. That's when I mix up, and then I'll take SiselRIPT during the day too, but I always take SiselRIPT at night. Our body rebuilds when we have production of human growth hormone. That only happens when we have sleep. And so I want to also take SiselRIPT at night, and I want to take my collagen B3 that has all the forms of collagen I need for hair and skin associated with that, and brain. While I'm sleeping, my body's repairing, and so I have SiselRIPT. I have all the types of collagens associated with that. I also have a little bit of a horse max motion for my joints I like to add to it. And then I put a big old scoop of that bee pollen and colostrum on top of it to build my immune system. And that's really vitally important too, because we've got to have a strong immune system. I see that we're at a 15-year high on flu.
Yeah.
And, I'm going to knock on wood that I haven't got the flu. And overall, I stay very healthy, and here in 2 mornings, I'm on the way to Indiana, and a couple weeks ago I was in Ohio, and, you're changing elevations and climates and all these different things. We're susceptible to that, but I stay very healthy. And so colostrum has really helped me with that too.
It's funny. Candace actually always says, I hope Hayes gets your immune system.
Yeah.
Because I never get sick. And it's like, well, I don't know. Some of that might be genetics, but it's also probably a lot of it.
Yeah, the other component you grew up with, rub a little dirt on it, you'll get better.
Exactly.
That helps build a strong immune system also.
And Thomas has a strong immune system. He used to just eat dirt.
I love dirt. I still to this day.
All right, next question. So we've talked a lot about products and how they play into the diets when you take them with a meal. But during your weight loss, a lot of it comes from, it's not just products, it's having a balanced diet. And how important is that? And what did yours look like?
Well, I'm a meat and potatoes guy, as you boys know. And one thing, when we get into fad diets, you get into paleo or Mediterranean or vegan only or
strict keto
Atkins or strict keto, those are hard to maintain. And so what I want to do is eat the foods that I like. I don't mind having a little pasta. I like having some rice, but it's about moderation in all things. I like potatoes and I like a Sunday roast and I enjoy, lots of different kinds of foods. Weight loss math is the most simple math out there. And it means if you consume less than what your body burns, of course, your body will burn fat. So a couple things can happen. I can increase my metabolism so I don't have to reduce as many calories, which we're doing that with Trimogenic. We're doing that with Sisel Thin. We're doing that with Turn and Burn. Turn and Burn's giving the advantage. Once or twice a week, I take that. That helps convert stored fat quicker as energy. But it is simple math. If you're burning 2,000 calories a day and you're consuming 2,500 calories a day, your body is going to store that extra. If you're burning 2,000, consuming 1,800, you're in deficit, and it's much easier to burn off the excess. And so a couple of main things. I still eat what I like. I don't eat as much of that. And what I found is as I'm losing weight, it's easier for me to eat a more modest meal. And it's a type of something, it's a type of meal that I will consume the rest of my life. So it's not I'm on a fad diet and in 90 days I'm going to go back. I'm eating the foods that I like. Another crucial point is when you eat. If I'm down here at the office late and I get home, it used to be if I got home at 10 or 11 o'clock at night, I was up for a big meal. I'm not anymore. I'll have protein, maybe a few vegetables. I won't eat late. I try and always eat by about 7:30, 8 o'clock at the very latest, earlier if I can, because when indigestion occurs more when when we're asleep and we haven't processed our food and everything. And so I try and eat earlier. I eat a more modest meal to lower my calorie intake, but balance is everything. I like fruits. I like vegetables. I like green salad. I like meat. I like potatoes. I eat less of a lot of certain types of food to lower my total caloric intake, but our bodies need fats. We need proteins. We need all the different types of fiber that come from plants and berries and things. So balance is everything, and it's sustainable. Now, the other thing that I need to incorporate is I need more exercise. It's hard. I mean, we run a ranch. We definitely, fix fence and we do things like that. But, until the weather got bad, I try just to walk about a mile a day, get the dogs out, go for a walk. And that does a couple of things. Yes, it helps to increase the rate I burn calories. And I haven't. I'm not going to say that I'm doing all this great exercise. I wish I was, because it would definitely help me even more so. But by doing that, it would definitely help calorie burning. It definitely would help muscle, because as we're exercising, we're definitely strengthening muscles, maintaining muscles. But the third thing that we often forget about is our lymphatic system, which is strung throughout our body, are basically vessels that pick up the toxins and the waste that we have, and they're moved into nodes under our arms and our legs and different areas of our body where our immune system destroys the pathogens and things that might be in our system. But it only operates with muscle contraction. We have to be moving. There's not a heart behind it like we have with blood vessels to keep it flowing. So when we're not doing physical activity, it's stationary, and then inflammation increases, our immune system is weakened. And so by just doing moderate walking and exercising, maybe a little jogging if you're prone to do that, the muscle contraction is what moves our lymphatic system and eliminates these toxins away from our system. So exercise maintains muscle, it helps to burn calories, and it moves our lymphatic system to increase our immune system and all those things. And one thing about all these products combined is about our immune system, or our ability to fight inflammation. If we look at Dr. Aubrey de Grey, he thinks that 97% is free radical damage and inflammation for aging. And so as we have better gut health, we greatly reduce our inflammation. When we hear, diseases like Crohn's disease and leaky gut syndrome and these things, that is a huge amount of inflammation. Our system, our body's resources go to fight that. And we retain more water, we have more toxicity, immune systems are weakened. And so proper gut health is instrumental to that. Weight loss is too. When we get into shape, we have less inflammation in our body. And so there's a lot of wonderful benefits. We talk about weight loss now because now when we're all focused on it, but there are so many benefits that come from these products in anti-aging and all types of health for our organs, our skin, our body, our immune system, fighting inflammation, free radical damage. And so anyway, it's been fun to be on here today with you boys.
Well, and one thing that I've noticed too, besides the Sisel products and your regimen and eating, is we got to figure out a way to get a Kathy Mower in everybody's lives to whip and spur and keep you on track, right?
Would you like your mother to come to work with us every day?
No, I would not. But
There'd be no more birthday cupcakes.
no, but it is important besides all of this, the accountability partners. And I know Mom, Kathy, our mother, has been the biggest advocate for you as accountability because you're with her the most.
Oh, absolutely.
And so with people's teams, how important is it to you to have somebody to be accountable to help you, to watch after, whether it's filling up your pills or making dinner for you that's healthy, making sure that you're not eating too many donuts or cake or chocolates by purging the pantry. Not even having it in the house. How important is that for you in your weight loss journey?
Just like when you boys were growing up, I was very concerned about the people that were around you for the right influence. And, we kind of lost a lot with Thomas, but Kaden, you made good choices.
I got lucky.
And the quality of the people around us that have the same goals in mind for themselves and with us will double or maybe even quadruple the success that you have. And so that's a great point. I'm glad you bring up, Thomas. And so, and being held accountable and have someone that, is saying, hey, I think we ought to do this, or here's a great suggestion. And, you might have fallen off the wagon at Sunday dinner, but Monday morning, bright and early, we're going to get back on it. And so really surround yourself. That's why we have these challenges. That's why we have coaches. That's why we ask people to build teams, because when we associate with like-minded people, just like when we see a dramatic increase in people building their business that come to Mower Mountain, that participate in events, because they're in a community built around the Sisel opportunity and the Mower mission, and they have greater success in their business and their health than those who think they'll work solo on their own.
Oh, perfect. Well, thank you. And I have one last question. So every single week, Kaden and I have been giving away free product to the people that have participated, paid attention. Hopefully they took notes. What product do you want to give away this week to one of our participants?
Well, this might be the first time he's found out we're giving away free product.
now I'm going to go to county and make sure it's deducted from your paycheck.
The cost.
Well, I think that I don't know what products you guys have given away.
Given all 4 new ones, Ripped and Sport.
Okay, Ripped and Sport too. I would think that if I were out there and I were using these products for weight loss and I had run out of Sizzle Thin and Turn and Burn and Balance D, and one thing I'll say too, people ask me all the time about Balance D. Absolutely. A lot of times I have it in my office, and a lot of times when I'm taking my gut health products before lunch, I'll take some Balance D along with that, because we need about 40 grams of fiber in our diet every day. And I'll take that then to increase the amount of fiber. So I think we ought to do a pack with a Turn and Burn, a Sizzle Thin, and a Balance D in it.
Whoa, 3 products to our participant this week. Okay.
I'll have it deducted from your guys' payroll.
Might as well make the pack bigger.
Yeah, might just keep going.
All right, tune in next week to see if you are the winner of the pack for Turn, Burn, Thin, and Balance D. Also next week, we're going to be talking about week 7, continuing progress. And that's going to be the last call. So this is going to be a summary of all of the weeks that we've had before, and then kind of where to look at in the future and where to continue on your weight loss progress. If you want to listen to any of the older weeks 6 to the first week, you can look them up on YouTube or call the 801-704-6800 and press option 3. And we have all of them recorded onto there.
I'm going to be in Indiana.
Oh yeah.
I'll be in Indiana Friday and Saturday. So if anybody's out there, love to shake your hand. And if you have any questions, I'd love to answer those and talk about your successes.
Okay, everybody. Well, we'll see you next week. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you, everyone.